The more that you stay on the internet, and it warps people, and we could close with this, where it warps people's view on what real life is like. Because you ever seen somebody whose entire personality is shaped off of the internet?
Well, and the thing is, right, people forget that there's real life repercussions with real life. Because when you're on the internet, you could do whatever you want. You could be a tiny little bitch, and like you could argue, and I know we're talking now, no red pill shit, but here we are, red pilling it up. Fucking Matrix. But it's true, like, one really frustrating thing for me, I'm not gonna lie, internet hate is like, that shit is in my bones now, I feel it. But people forget that real life doesn't work that way. Over the internet, you can say whatever you want. The second in real life, if you're out in person, you have to watch what you say. Everyone does, because you don't want that smoke. You don't want those problems, you know? So I think it's just changed the entire way we communicate, we interact. It's made it more toxic, the way we interact, because when you interact in person, there's a level of self-respect and respect towards another, right? Whereas over the internet, that level of respect is gone, and people treat it like a free-for-all. And it's a shield. The internet's a shield that protects people.
Yeah, it is. It really is, because you can say whatever you want. Like, you ever seen whenever it goes viral from time to time, maybe every other month, they'll have this happen where there'll be a restaurant or a business owner who somebody had a negative experience. They ranted about it on, whether it be on Twitter, well, X, or Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever the case is. Their post would go viral. They didn't plan for it to go viral, but anything you post online, it could go viral like that. Then immediately, people will gravitate. Individuals who never went to the establishment will say, oh, wow, you had a negative experience like that. That resonates with me. I'm gonna leave a negative review. All of a sudden, this business, who probably had one person who had a bad experience, or maybe you may have had tens of thousands, hundreds, whatever the case is, people who had positive experience, because this small percentage just so happen to not enjoy themselves, they go online. Individuals who never been there will now go and flock, leave terrible reviews, and now all of a sudden your business is not performing at a good level just because, hey, you know, it's the internet, it's not that big of a deal, but what they fail to realize is there's people's real lives that's being affected here.
I think the better you learn to control the internet narrative, though, because internet is a game too. And I think lately I'm learning that a lot of the internet, it all boils down to narrative control. It's the way you spin everything, and you can control the internet. In the past, people were trying to figure it out. You can control the internet now, because I think of something I saw, which was hilarious to me. It's really fucked up, but it's hilarious. There was a girl who left a bad review for a club in Miami, Club Live in Miami. It's one of like the hottest clubs out here.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And she was like a bigger girl, heavier set. She couldn't get in. She's like, they wouldn't let us in. Usually at clubs, when you're a girl, you can get in. This place didn't let us in.
Rightfully so. No whales.
And then I remember somebody tweeted, like, oh, they're not letting fat girls in there? I want to go even more now.
Yep, fact.
It went super viral. And it was just the win. Like, I don't even think the club responded. They were just like, whatever. Because the way that it was spun was like, you spun it. It could have been bad, right? If there was no damage control, if there was nothing done to it, it could have gone bad. But because someone spun it that way, made it humorous, made it funny, it flipped the entire narrative, and now people are like, oh, no fat girls are allowed to go there. Let's go to this club. It's fucked up, but it's like, if you can control the narrative like that. So now whenever I see any sort of meme, because they're disguised as memes, any sort of meme or viral post, I'm like, is that manufactured? Did someone make that to control what you think about something? Because you see it all the time. So
it's perspective. It's all perspective. It goes back to perspective. You find a way to flip it, get in front of the narrative, make it work for you. By far the best thing. That's where, like when we talked before about social media being a blessing and a curse, that's where it could be a blessing when it's a curse for somebody else. So it's always different for different individuals. But
facts.
It's a beautiful thing.